What do you mean by family of sets or set of sets? Family of sets means sets containing sets. Okay, for example, you can have a set A, a family of sets A, or a set of sets A, like you can have the element 1 inside, you can have the element AB inside. This is a set of sets, or also called the family of sets. Why is it called family of sets? Because this set A contains sets themselves. Okay, A contains the set 1, the singleton set 1, and it contains the doubleton set AB. So this is called a set of sets or a family of sets. Okay, related to this concept is the concept of power set. Have you done the concept of power set earlier?
No, sir.
Okay, power set actually means power set is a family of sets denoted by PA, which contains which contains all the possible subsets of the set A. Now, what does this mean? This means that suppose I have a set A is equal to say AB. I have this set. Then what should be the power set of A? Then the power set of A will be first of all the null set. Then what are the possible subsets of A comma B? What are the possible subsets of AB? First is the singleton set A. Next subset is the singleton set B. And next subset is the set A itself. Okay, this is called the power set of A. See that the power set of A contains how many elements? It contains 4 elements. The power set of A contains 4 elements. And you see that the set A contains 2 elements. So what you must note here is that the power set of A, which has 2 elements, contains 4 elements, which is equal to 2 square, right? So you see there are 4 elements in PA, but only 2 elements in A. This was first example. Let us take another example. Let us take the set B as 1, 2, 3. Then what should be the power set of B? Therefore, PB will be equal to, first of all, you will have your null set. Next, you will have the singleton set 1. Next subset will be the singleton set 2. Next subset will be the singleton set 3. Next subset will be 1, 2. Next subset will be 2, 3. Next subset will be 3, 1. And finally, you will have 1, 2, 3. So if you count the number of elements in PB, the power set of B, it contains 8 elements. Okay. So which means, again, you must note here is that the
Okay, sir.
power set of B, which contains 3 elements, contains how many elements? 2 cube elements equal to 8 elements. So with this, you can prove this theorem. For any set A containing n elements, the power set of A will always contain 2 to the power of n elements. Okay, so if the set A contains 8 elements, then the power set of A will contain 2 to the power of 8 elements. Okay, that is what is meant by the power set. Next, already know Venn diagrams. We come to the concept of universal set. What is the universal set? All the sets that we consider, if it is a subset of a particular set, then that set is called the universal set. Okay.
Universal.
If you are considering 5 sets and all these are subsets of a particular set, then that particular set is called the universal set. Okay. And Venn diagrams also. I'm doing universal set and Venn diagrams together because both are quite related. Universal sets are denoted by rectangles. Okay. In terms of Venn
Yes.
diagrams, and the sets within the universal set are denoted by circles. Okay. The sets within this set you can denote it by universal. The sets within the universal set are denoted by circles, and the universal set is normally denoted by U or sometimes also by I. Okay, and these sets are represented as circles. Now, once we know the concept of universal sets, we come to operations on set. These are very brief ideas that I am repeating, which you've already done in class 8, if I remember
Classes.
teaching you. Okay,
Yes.
so first, operations on sets. What are the 4 types of operations on sets? Remember 4 types of operations on sets.
Mm. No.
Operations on sets.
Little.
If you remember, the first type of operation was union of sets.
Yes, sir. Intersection of sets.
Next was intersection of sets.
Hmm.
Next is complementation of a set. Complementation of a set. And the fourth one is um, difference of sets. A minus B and B minus A, if you remember.
Hmm.
Okay. The first operation that we discuss is union. You're already aware of operation, how union works. Okay. This time we are more concerned with the mathematical definition of union. For any two sets, for any two sets, A and B, A union B is a set defined as, remember this definition, very important definition, which you uh, have also done in class 8. A union B is defined as X such that X belongs to A or X belongs to B. That means either the elements of A or the elements of B. Okay. So a very simple example of A union B is how to find out A union B. Suppose I take the set A as AB1 and I take the set B as 1XYZ. Then what should be the union of these two sets? Therefore, A union B is equal
A,
to,
B, 1, XYZ.
this is what your A union B is. Okay. Now, in terms of Venn diagram, how do you represent sets, union of sets? If they are overlapping sets, then you dot true overlapping circles, right? If they are your overlapping sets,
Hmm.
okay. So this is your, normally we take overlapping sets. We do not take subsets or disjoint sets, okay. So I'm only showing you for overlapping sets. For two overlapping sets, the union of these two sets will be represented by this region here. Okay, for disjoint sets also, I have mentioned to you in class 8. Let me just
Hmm.
mention in
Yes, sir.
this case, for disjoint sets, what is the union of two sets for disjoint sets? It is the area within these two circles. This is for disjoint sets. Disjoint sets. This is for overlapping sets. And finally, you have for subsets. In case of subsets, what happens? Suppose A is a subset of B. Then you have two circles like this. Okay. So A is a subset of B. That means A is the smaller circle. B is the bigger circle. A is a subset of B. In this case, you will have the set B itself as the union. Okay. A subset of B is equal to B, we write. If similarly B is a subset of A, then what happens? Then you shade only A. Okay. That is how to represent the union of sets by Venn diagrams. Now we come to the properties of union, which is the important part. Properties of union of sets. The first property of for any three sets A, B, and C, for any three sets A, B, and C, A union B is equal to B union A. This is also called as a commutative property of union. Commutative property. Next property for sets is, for union is, A union B union C is equal to A union B union C. This is called the associative property. Okay, associative property with respect to union. Okay, next property is that if A is a subset of B, if A is a subset of B, then A union B is equal to B. Similarly, if B is a subset of A, then A union B must be equal to A. Okay, this is what this third property is. And the fourth property is that A union B, A union A, in fact, A union A must be equal to A, and A union the null set must also be equal to A. This is the fourth property. All the four properties you must know. Okay.
Hmm.
So
Okay, sir.
next we come to the intersection of sets. intersection of sets. Now, for any two sets A and B, for any two sets A and B, mathematically, we define A intersection B as a set where X is such that X belongs to A and X belongs to B. So the keyword here is and. Okay, X belongs to A or X and X belongs to B. A very simple example again of intersection is, suppose I take the element of A as 1, X, Y, Z, and if I take the elements of B as X, Y, 2, 3, therefore A intersection B will comprise of elements that are both in A and B. And if you see, X and Y is common to A and B. So therefore this will be A intersection B will be a double turn set consisting of X and Y only, where X and Y are the common elements of A and B. Okay. So that is what we mean by intersection of sets. Okay. Next we come to the properties of intersection. Let me first show you by Venn diagram once again for overlapping sets what happens. This also you know very well. For overlapping sets, if there are two sets A and B, overlapping sets, then the intersection is represented by this region, the common region of the circles. In case of disjoint sets, what happens? Two isolated circles, no common area. So we don't shade anything.
No intersection.
This is for disjoint sets. And in case of A subset of B, A, B, universal set, A subset of B, then A intersection B will be only this common area, which is the set A itself. Okay, so this is how you represent union. Next we come to the important part, which is properties of intersection. Properties of intersection. Okay, the first property of intersection is A intersection B is equal to B intersection A. Again, this is called commutative property with respect to intersection. Commutative property with respect to intersection. That was with respect to union. Okay. And the next property is A intersection B intersection C must be equal to A intersection B intersection C. This is associative property with respect to intersection. Okay. Next is if A is a subset of B, then A intersection B must be equal to the set A. Note is that if B is a subset of A, then A intersection B must be equal to B. As already shown in this Venn diagram, if you see, if A is a subset of B, then see that A intersection B is nothing but A itself. Okay. This is not equal to A, sorry. A subset of B, right, implies here, implies A intersection B is equal to A. Okay. So as evident from the Venn diagram, you can see that if A is a subset of B, then A intersection B must be equal to A. And the fourth one is that A intersection A must be equal to A, and A intersection a null set will be equal to a null set. Okay, these are the properties of intersection. Now, what you must note is, uh, uh, first note is that if two sets are disjoint, if A and B are disjoint sets,
Yes, sir.
then A intersection B must be equal to a null set, always. If A and B are disjoint sets, then A intersection B will always be a null set. If A and B are overlapping, if A and B are overlapping sets, then obviously they will have something in common. So therefore you can write A intersection B is not equal to a null set. And the last one is called the distributive property with respect to union, and we have the distributive property with respect to intersection. Let us call it 3A. Distributive property with respect to union. Now, what do you mean by distributive property with respect to union? If you have any three sets, A union B intersection C, then you can write this as A union B intersection A union C. Is this property clear? Distributive property? This
Yes,
is
sir.
called distributive property with respect to union. In fact, this is also called as this is called the left distributive property with respect to union, because A is distributing itself from the left. Left distributive property with respect to union. We also have a right distributive property. If you have A
The
intersection B
from right side.
union C, then C will distribute itself over A and B from the right side. This is called the
Left
right distributive property.
distributed.
And you have B, you have distributive property with respect to intersection. Distributive property with respect to intersection is, it states that A intersection B union C is equal to A intersection B union A intersection C. This is called the left distributive property with respect to intersection. Called the left distributive property. And you also have the right distributive property. A union B intersection C will be equal to A intersection C union B intersection C. This is called the right distributive property with respect to intersection. Okay, these you must remember. And next we come to the next operation, which is called the complementation operation. Complementation of a set. Now see, all these operations that we are doing here, there's something that you must note, that see, I have listed 4 operations here: union, intersection, Complementation and difference. Now,
Different.
this property is something that is unique. This property is also called as the unary operation. It is a unary operation. Why it is a unary operation? Because you don't, because for C, for union, you need two sets. For intersection, you need two sets. For difference also, you need two sets. But for complementation, you don't need two sets.
Only one
One
set.
set is enough. That is why it is called unary operation. Okay, so coming back to complementation, what do you mean by the complement of a set? The complement of a set, the complement of a set A is a set A dashed defined as, what is the set? Mathematically, this set A dash is defined as X such that X does not belong to A. Sometimes you also write as X does not belong to A and X belongs to the universal set. Sometimes it's also written. Otherwise, if you simply write this also, X such that X does not belong to A, that will also do. Okay. So for a very clear understanding, let us be very clear that if A complement is X such that X does not belong to A, but X belongs to Xi. That means it contains only the elements that are not in A. Okay. Let us take an example here. Example. Very simple example. Let us define Xi universal set to be the set of natural numbers. Okay. And let us define the set A as, in the set builder form, let us say X such that X lies between 1 and 10. X belongs to n. And what should be A complement? Can you tell me what should be A complement in set builder notation?
Set builder notation. If X belongs 1 and 10 natural number.
If A contains natural numbers that are between 1 and 10, then obviously A complement will contain natural numbers that are greater than 10. Okay, you can either write this way, X greater than 10,
Yes, sir.
or you can also write X greater than or equal to 11. You can also write it this way. Okay, so that is what the complementation of a set means. Okay, next come to the representation by Venn diagrams. How do you represent complementation by Venn diagrams? You have, for overlapping sets, for two overlapping sets, you can represent the complementation by, let's say not two, but single. In fact, one set. One set is enough. That means, say I have a set A here. That means the complement will be all the region inside the rectangle except the circle. This will be your complementation. Okay. And this is the representation by Venn diagram. Let's come to the properties of complementation. Properties of complementation. The first property of complementation, and a very, very fundamental property of complementation, is that the complement of a complement will give you that set itself. Okay. So this is the first property of complementation. The next property of complementation is that the complement of a universal set will be equal to a null set, and the complement of a null set will be equal to the universal set. All these can be proved. Okay. The third property is that A union A complement will be equal to the universal set. Okay, this is A. And A intersection A complement will be equal to a null set. This is the third property. Okay, and finally, you have a very, very important property of complementation, which is called the De Morgan's law. We shall be using De Morgan's law. De Morgan's law. You had computer in class 9-10?
No.
Okay. De Morgan's laws, the first statement of De Morgan's law for any two sets is that A union B, for any two sets, A union B complement will always be equal to A complement intersection B complement. This is the first statement of De Morgan's law. The second statement of De Morgan's law is for two sets. This is De Morgan's law with respect to intersection. This was De Morgan's law with respect to union. Okay, A intersection B complement will be equal to A complement union B complement. This is with respect to intersection. Okay. So these are the laws of complementation. Okay. Now, I stop here for today.